quickest way to increase your value in someone else's eyes is to walk away when you're not treated right. Scarcity creates value. Some people will only understand how good you were when they no longer have access to you.
When you're dealing with a woman, nothing will increase your value more in the woman's eyes than you walking away from her. Nothing. And nothing will decrease your value more than you staying with her. Staying with her when you should have walked away, and simply you just staying with her in general. The woman who leads with her emotions is attracted to whatever arouses her the most. So fear, anxiety, uncertainty, the taboo, things she should not be attracted to, sits at the height of her attention and attraction. And because of this, nothing is more arousing to the woman than a man she does not have and cannot have. Nothing is more arousing to the woman than a man who is fleeting, out of reach, unavailable, or unobtainable. She is able to desire, pursue, and adore the man she does not have access to. She is unable to desire, pursue, and adore the man she has access to. She has to fake this desire for that man. It does not come naturally. Tension is what generates feelings of sexual attraction, chemistry, arousal, and romance towards a man. And this tension is non-existent when she has full access to that man, when she already has access to that man. So when it comes to dealing with the woman, the man's best friend is tension, because tension gets him laid, gets him admired, gets him respected, pursued, and selected. He must always have a degree of tension in all of his dynamics, not just his dynamics with women. Tension is what garners respect from other men, children, and the elderly as well. But when it comes to dealing with women, tension is the key ingredient. It is everything. It is romance. It is chemistry. This works in two ways. She must desire and long for more access to you, tension, and she must fear losing access to you, tension. So she must fear losing you. I'm literally telling you guys the mechanisms behind female attraction here. And you'll never be able to execute these things correctly if you do not understand reward systems. We'll get into that later. And the profundity of walking away when it comes to intersexual dynamics. We're going to get into that now. So in today's video, I'm going to make it very clear to you guys why you must walk away and how to walk away. We're going to expand further on push and pull dynamics and just how important push and pull dynamics actually are. This isn't silly little games. This is how you deal with interpersonal relationships, intersexual dynamics. The psychology of walking away is so greatly profound. I don't think people understand how normal it is. I've said this to you guys before. Walking away is completely normal. It is needed. It is a part of the journey. It's how we piece ourselves together. Pulling away and walking away helps the other person. It helps them think. It helps them reflect. It helps them make accurate comparative analysis. It helps them to value things. It helps them practice gratitude. Anyway, we're going to get into that later. I hope you guys love the video.
The quickest way to increase your value in someone else's eyes is to walk away when you're not treated right. Scarcity creates value. Some people will only understand how good you were when they no longer have access to you. Two things can happen when you walk away. The person either comes back with a different attitude towards you, or you will never hear from them again. Either way, they will respect you more for it.
Scarcity creates value, yes, but it's not the best way of explaining exactly what happens when somebody walks away. It's better understood as scarcity reveals value, or scarcity highlights value, because people suppress how they feel about you, and so do you. You suppress how you feel about other people. We have to. As human beings, we actually feel a great deal amount for other people, but we suppress these emotions so that we can function properly. We feel a great deal amount for a lot of things, as our emotions are very powerful. We love things, hate things, We are afraid of things, anxious about things, disgusted by things. We desire things. We are aroused by things. We are inspired by things. If we sat there every day and allowed ourselves to feel all of our emotions, we would get nothing done. We would be burnt out by the afternoon. So we are always looking for ways to suppress how we feel about things through the process of down regulation. This is imperative for homeostasis. This is what allows us to think clearly, to have clarity, and to make better, well-informed decisions in general. And as I said, it also manages our energy levels so that we don't exhaust ourselves. This is why people seek validation to the extent that they do, as validation numbs how we feel. It silences powerful emotions for a short period of time, just like weed. This is why people who have to suppress a great amount of negative emotions keep themselves busy, constantly seeking validation. Validation works as a numbing agent. It's a suppressor of emotion, both positive and negative. And this is why validating your partner can work against you, as you help them suppress how they feel about you. As you help them turn off their negative emotions, you are also helping them turn off their positive emotions about you. This is why the nice guy finishes last. He is so obsessed with people pleasing, giving the woman reassurances, being the reliable option, being consistent, predictable, easy to read, non-threatening. He is determined to do everything right, prioritize the woman, validate the woman. Ironically, he helps the woman suppress how she feels about him until she no longer feels anything powerful towards him. The tension is gone, the romance is dead, there is no longer a spark. The nice guy represents security, and because of this, he represents suppressed emotions, which goes on to become little to no emotion. The bad guy represents insecurity, and because of this, he represents emotions that cannot be suppressed, which goes on to convince the woman that she is in love. The bad guy is bad because he does not conform or people please for the woman. He's bad because he trusts his perception of the woman over the woman's words and cries. Because he goes against the things the woman wants, he does not help her in suppressing how she feels about him. If security is a cap that suppresses emotions, then insecurity is the process of unscrewing that cap and bringing all of the suppressed emotion to the surface where it cannot be ignored.
Science shows that when you zone in on someone and when they become the only person in the room, your brain has entered a state that is neurologically unlike anything else available to a human being. So research on focused romantic attention and the brain shows that when we fix our attention intensely on a specific person, the early stage of falling for someone or that specific experience of that person becoming the center of your world, the brain's dopamine system activates in a way that produces what researchers describe as intrusive thinking. So the person enters the mind constantly and involuntarily, and often the way a song gets stuck in our head, except it's a person. And research by Helen Fisher using fMRI imaging found that people in early stage romantic focus show these activation patterns in the ventral tegmental area and the caudate nucleus, which are regions that are associated with reward, motivation, and our goal-directed behavior. So these activation patterns are really similar to the neural patterns of addiction. So the person becomes the target of the brain's approach motivation system, and everything else becomes background noise. Research on attention and attachment shows that this narrowing of focus serves a biological purpose. It accelerates our bonding by directing every available resource, your attention and your energy and your thought, towards the potential attachment figure. So the nervous system is preparing to bond, and it does so by making the person impossible to stop thinking about.
So fellas, I told you many times that a woman doesn't love you, she falls in love with you. She fixates on you, she's infatuated with you, has limerence with you, she obsesses over you. She literally cannot take her mind off of you. This is a neurological compulsion, not love. You have literally put her under a spell. So this is involuntary. Love is voluntary. I told you guys that most women fall in love with you kicking and screaming. They do not want to fall in love, lose their pragmatism, and be powerless in their dynamics with a man. They may at first seek this or say they seek this, but then eventually they will fight you for the throne as they convince themselves they are being taken advantage of in some way, shape, or form, how you are conspiring against her in some way, shape, or form. The woman does everything to suppress the true extents of how she feels towards a man she likes or feels the power of. She consciously does this and she unconsciously does this. There are two types of men with value she meets: the man who gives her what she wants and the man who does not. The man who gives her what she wants does not need her to earn these things. She is good enough already. The man who doesn't give her what she wants creates a dynamic where if she wants these things from him, she will have to earn it. She is not good enough yet. So the first man has no reward system for her, so no game for her to play. And the second man has a reward system for her, a game for her to play. I always tell you guys that the woman is very counterintuitive, right? In your mind, you're thinking, obviously the woman will prefer the man who is given what she wants, right? But no, she's counterintuitive. The woman wants a reward system for her to enroll with and engage into. And some men have these things and some men do not. So as I said, what a woman wants is to suppress how she feels about a man. So not only does the first man not have a reward system for the woman to engage with and prove herself worthy, but he also helps the woman suppress how she feels about him until she feels nothing towards him. You must understand that the woman does not choose a man. Her neurochemistry does. I'll say that again. You must understand that the woman does not choose a man. Her neurochemistry does. This is why the type of man the woman says she wants is always different from the men she actually deals with. She is stimulus driven, arousal driven, emotionally driven. Her attention is bottom up, not top down. She's not driven by her values. So she doesn't choose a man. Her neurochemistry does. She believes her emotions is her intuition and falsely believes her emotions are trying to tell her something about other people. She believes her emotions is her pattern recognition as well. And because of this, she follows whatever arouses her the most and romanticizes this into seductive and meaningful stories. So the woman is under a spell or she isn't. Now listen to me closely, fellas. The spell will remain as long as she fears, and I mean truly fears, losing you. The spell will be broken as soon as she no longer fears losing you. This is the tension I was speaking of. This is the main tension of your dynamic, of an intersexual dynamic, the tension that the woman has of losing you. Now, there are many ways for you guys to neurochemically get yourself there. And these are the things that I teach you. This is the game that I teach you guys. The woman will every now and again seek to break this spell she has been put under by testing your boundaries to see if you will stay or leave. It's just as simple. You got to understand that you're in a power dynamic. All right. So when you are in a power dynamic, when you're negotiating with another person, the person who is at the end of the day in the powerful position is the party who can easier walk away, who doesn't need this dynamic as much as the other. At the end of the day, this is what exposes the true nature of the negotiations. So she will test your boundaries to see if you will stay or leave. If you stay, then your value will decrease in her eyes, the neurochemistry chokehold will loosen, and she will be given another opportunity to suppress how she feels about you. And this is everything the woman is working towards. If she can flip the dynamic on its head and have you feel about her the way she is feeling towards you, then she will do it. And she'll do this by manipulating you into helping her make you less of a fixation, if that makes sense, by providing her with security and reassurances. So she will manipulate you into becoming an accomplice with her suppressing how she feels about you. If you leave, then your value will increase in her eyes. The chokehold will tighten, and she will restart the cycle of her being very submissive towards you, insecure, and feeling a great deal of emotion towards you, back into a state of proving herself to you. The truth is, when it comes to her neurochemistry, that's when the woman feels the best, when she's desiring you, chasing you, and proving things to you, and you're a good game. So you're actually rewarding her for the good stuff. She wants to be in that state, right? But she will fight against being in that state, if that makes sense. Now, the thing about walking away from the woman is this, right? Her fixations will not truly allow you to leave. She will climb through your window to get to you, knock on your front door in order to regain access to you. Real players know that you can't actually break up with women who are in love with you. You can't actually leave them. You must get them to break up with you. Seriously, fellas. If you can just walk away from a woman, she was never really in love with you. Like, you can't actually leave these women when they're in love with you. Like, you actually can't. Like, they won't allow you to. Like, you'll just straight up tell her you don't love her no more, you hate her, and she'll just be like, you don't mean those things. And she'll whittle you down, honestly. True players know that you kind of have to get them to break up with you, or you need to start doing really unattractive things. You know, so if I want a woman to stop liking me, then I will trigger her neurochemistry in the opposite way. I'll be doing the things that I know will make her not fixate on me. So fellas, everything I'm talking to you about, this is the true process of how men teach women how to behave, how to conduct themselves, how to treat them, how to treat a man, how to treat them in particular. And this is how men aid women in their growth and development, by becoming their approach and reward motivation. Literally, right? Remember what the woman said. The man literally becomes their approach and reward motivation. You know, the women have this proclivity to center a man in a way that we won't center them. All right. And so we help in their growth and development by first becoming their approach and reward motivations, punishing and disabling bad behaviors, rewarding and enabling good behavior. This is how the man conditions the woman. She can never be like this towards a man who won't walk away from her.
But here's what's worth knowing. The intensity of the focus is not a measure of the depth of the connection. It is a measure of the activation of the reward system. So two completely different things. The person you cannot stop thinking about is not necessarily the person most capable of building something real with you. They are the person who most activated the dopamine system. And that activation is worth understanding before you build your entire life around it. So here's your exercise. When you notice the zoning in, ask what specifically about this person is activating my system. Is it who they are, or is it what they represent? And that question is the beginning of choosing consciously rather than being chosen by the neurochemistry.
In my last video, I told you guys that men do not fear conflict with the woman. He fears the consequences of conflict with the woman. And he does not fear the woman. He fears what she represents, which is always rejection, abandonment, humiliation, and embarrassment. The man who offers her a reward system for her to prove herself gives the woman the opportunity to prove to herself that she is good enough, that she is worthy enough, and that she is chosen. By changing a man from unavailable to available, by earning the access of a man who is not offering it outright, she proves to herself that she is special and better than other women, or at least at the same level as the women she sees highly. So the man who has a reward system for her to engage in gives her the opportunity to make her feel incredibly good about herself or incredibly bad. And this risk-reward system is way more compelling than compatibility with a man or a man who matches her values. She will convince herself anyway that she is compatible with that man. The man who gives her the risk and reward system, as she romanticizes what she's feeling into a seductive and meaningful story. So if security acts as the cap that suppresses her emotions, then insecurity is the process of unscrewing that cap and allowing her to feel the full extent of how she feels towards you, along with all the emotions of her desire to prove to herself that she is good enough. This is not about love. This is about how the woman reacts to and handles tension. This tension will manifest as a fear of losing you, aka being abandoned by you. But she won't fear being abandoned by you if you fear being abandoned by her. You see how this works? As soon as she realizes this, the focus of her fear is subsided as she focuses on your fear. When she focuses on your fear, the tension is lost. But when she is focused on her fear, the tension remains, the tension grows. The woman needs this tension to act right in the dynamic, to desire you, to respect you, to admire you. It provides her with the incentive and motivation to participate and fully engage in the dynamic. When this tension is non-existent, she feels awkward, indifferent, bored, and even dysregulated. It gives her nothing to do and nothing to work with and nothing to work towards. She needs both your sexual energy and the tension you provide in order for her to participate correctly and authentically, in order for her to react. This tension is the bedrock of the dynamic she has with a man. In the absence of this tension, the woman will create tension as an attempt to breathe life into the dynamic. And this is why I say men who seek peace with women will never do well with women, because they are always working towards eliminating all tension. When the woman creates tension in the absence of tension, this is where the relationship becomes awful. She will literally test you, play games with you, mind games with you. She'll feign promiscuity to see how you react, try to trigger you in every way to see how you react, and try to get you to pull away. She starts small, and if allowed to go unfinished, she will escalate these things into something big. She will start offending you, emasculating you, and even trying to destroy you, become an enemy of progress to the things that you are progressing towards. She will do things expecting you to pull away at first, and when you don't, she will do things expecting you to walk away, all as an attempt to generate the tension she needs in order to participate. She's doing all these things, fellas, to just generate tension, fellas. This is why women are rude to you for no reason, mean to you for no reason, will tease you for no reason. She's just trying to generate tension to give her something to work with in the absence of the tension you should be providing. When you do not walk away from her at this point, she is actually surprised. She had no idea that you didn't have any boundaries. She had no idea that you didn't actually respect yourself. And she's learning that you don't actually have any punishment mechanisms for her. She didn't know you was like this. She thought you was more manly and masculine than what you are. Remember, she was doing all of this to simply generate tension, but along the way, she learned that you aren't who you say you are. She learns that you are not her leader and you can't lead her, and that actually you are her subject. This is how the man who helps her suppress her emotions by listening to the words coming out of her mouth eventually leads her to not have any strong emotion towards him at all. Eventually, she has nothing to suppress because she feels nothing towards him. She is actually now unattracted to him.
If you are with a woman and you want to keep her, do not give her what she wants all of the time. If you do, this is the exact thing that will make her run away from you.
And this is how women end up leaving the men who serve her in favor of the men who don't serve her. You got to really understand, fellas, right? Women are not independent. It's us men that have the ability to be independent. You have to understand it. This is the reason why, you'll have women say how independent they are and how strong they are. Women will always lead with things that they are not. All right, it's actually only masculine men who have the ability to fully become independent and have interdependent relationships. The woman is codependent and dependent. All right, she doesn't even have the ability to leave things that doesn't serve her because of all of the things that I'm talking to you about. She's led by her neurochemistry. So actually she finds herself not being able to leave situations that isn't serving her. And this is why there's so much Instagram and TikTok videos about how women should leave men that aren't serving her, because they don't. It doesn't come naturally to them. It comes naturally to the independent man. It comes naturally to the independent person. And this is felt as powerful to people. This is felt very powerfully. This is why I always say the man's superpower is his independence, his ability to become competent enough to be able to give himself pretty much all of the things that he needs, right? The masculine man's ability to give himself validation, approval, understanding, trust, to be able to make himself competent all by himself is his superpower, because this actually means that, well, then he's able to leave situations that doesn't serve him. The woman is tied to her body, tied to the family, tied to friends. She's tied to proving to herself things to herself, tied to her traumas, her addictions, her negative emotions, tied to her neurochemistry. She's not actually autonomous, so she doesn't actually have the power to lead herself, and this is the reason why she outsources leadership and direction onto the man as well. All right, and so this is the true difference in biological power between a man and a woman, the fact that the woman is tied to everything around her and the man isn't, right? And so when a man understands these things and he exerts his superpower and his advantage, this is the man's true leverage, the fact that he's able to walk away from things that don't serve him. Really think about what I'm saying. Think about all the control and abuse mechanisms you've been subjected to in your life. Right? Think about the family, think about work, think about all of these places that were shocked when you left them on the roadside. They're shocked because they are subjected to the same control and abuse mechanisms, but they don't have the courage or the independence to actually leave. They conform and accept abuse, and they're shocked when they come across an individual who won't conform and accept abuse.
Little secret I'm going to give you about women. So for you men who are confused by women and don't know how to handle it and don't understand what the fuck's going on in her mind, to be honest, a lot of the times we don't either. And a common thing that I see men do that makes things go wrong is that you listen to her words. All right? A woman's main purpose is safety, and she's based off her emotions mainly. So that means she's going off her feelings a lot of the times. And what happens is she might feel a certain emotion in the moment and then make a statement like it's the absolute truth or the reality when it's fucking not. I do this and I'm just aware of it, right? Most women aren't. So the mistake most men make is that you are listening to her words and then you notice they don't match her actions. So what you guys have to do is learn how to differentiate between her emotions and what's actually happening in reality. Now, I'll give you a small example where sometimes I'm like, I don't want coffee anymore, I'm gonna quit. And then like 10 minutes later, I'm like, I want coffee. Tony knows better than to listen to my words, but really just go off my actions that I'm doing. Sometimes I say one thing, I'm gonna do this or I'm gonna do that. I'm not doing this anymore, I quit this. And then the next day I'm doing it and he's like, oh, and he just lets me be. But this is one of the secrets that men don't understand is you cannot listen to her words most of the time. You have to watch her actions. And this goes for most humans. A lot of humans will say one thing. You gotta watch the actions though, because actions speak louder than words.
I'm gonna tell you a secret. If you can walk away from it, it's yours forever. The moment you don't need something, it loses the ability to control you. Most people end up losing things because they cling to it too tightly. They negotiate their standards, they tolerate disrespect, and they stay longer than they should because fear convinces them that walking away means losing. But real ownership isn't external, it's internal. If you can walk away from a job, you chose it. If you can walk away from a relationship, you stayed out of desire, not dependence. If you can walk away from validation, your worth isn't up for rent. Beneath the surface, when you're attached to something, your nervous system is in threat mode. Fear of loss keeps stress circuits active. You overthink, you stress, you chase, you compromise, your behavior becomes reactive because your brain believes survival is tied to the outcome. When you can walk away, that fear shuts off. Your thinking clears and you stop overreacting and you start choosing. Nothing has leverage over you because your nervous system isn't being held hostage. That's why detachment always feels calm. It's not apathy, it's regulation. And regulated people are dangerous because they can't be manipulated. Anything that you can't walk away from already owns you. It dictates your decisions, it controls your peace. Walking away doesn't mean you lose it. It means you were never trapped by it. And once that fear is gone, nothing can be taken from you because you were never dependent on it to begin with. A healthy mind is a healthy life.
Okay, so let's wrap the video up here, all right? So, fellas, walking away is normal. You know, it's a part of negotiation. You guys who run a business or you do sales or anything where you're having to negotiate, you guys understand that walking away is normal, right? Like, it's very normal, right? You can walk away at multiple times. You can reconnect, walk away again. No, this is my final offer. Right? And you rehash it out again. That's how you come up with the deal that you want. That's how you teach people how to treat you. There's no other way to teach, especially women, how to treat you. It's easier for you to come by men who know how to treat you because we know how to speak to each other's egos. We respect each other's boundaries. We have the language of respect. We respect the other man's and other people's defense mechanisms, coping mechanisms, and security systems. Right? You know, so it's easier. But when dealing with women, no, they don't have the language of respect. They have no idea how to treat you. They can't see themselves in you. They don't understand you. All right. And so with women, I told you, they don't practice higher values like boundaries, privacy, and respect. They don't practice those things amongst themselves. They actually practice the opposite of those things. They are gossipers. They talk behind each other's back. They're intrusive. They intrude in each other's personal spaces and share information and talk behind their back and stuff like that. Right. They speak. They speak in way of sympathy and compassion and pity, not by the language of respect, all right? So the woman, the only way she knows how to treat you is based on your boundaries, right? So literally based on the things you'll tolerate and won't tolerate, based on the things that will make you stay and the things that will make you leave, honestly. And as I said, she can't even have a romantic dynamic with a man without that tension being there. That's what will make her have a romantic dynamic with a man, all right? And so walking away is normal and you have to do it. It's a part of the journey. You guys who will be like, yeah, but what if I walk away? What if she never comes back? You guys got work to do. You've got no business dealing with women if this is how you are. If this is how you are, if you crumble in uncertainty like that, if you're dependent or codependent, brother, stop dealing with these women. They're designed to destroy you. They're designed to, do bad things to you. Nature, God, humanity, it doesn't like codependent, dependent men. You can be like this when you're a little boy, and when you get to a certain age, you can't be like this, and you'll be punished in every avenue. You'll be exploited all over the place. The women will just treat you so mean. You know, if you haven't done the work, don't deal with women. They're just going to exploit you. You're going to have a horrible time. You're going to have a horrible time. This is why so many men who don't do the work, they engage in repetitive cyclical behavior, because they know that they're going to have a horrible time with a woman long term. So they just always meet women and then run away before it gets too serious, because they can tell. Unconsciously, they can tell that they're not going to have a horrible time. Honestly, you don't even qualify. Don't even think about having a long-term relationship if you're dependent. All right, you have to understand the metrics in which the woman is dealing with you from. This is really deep. Even love as well, right? You should, if you truly love something, then you should be able to walk away from it. It's the whole it's deeper than all the things that we're talking about, right? And remember, we also covered suppressed emotions and unsuppressed emotions. As a guy, you should be invested in a woman not being able to suppress how she feels about you. So you need to create a statue of yourself in a woman's psyche. That's what attraction is. That's what sexual attraction is. Understand the woman's neurochemistry, and it's easy. This is why I teach you psychology and not gimmicks, because it's easy. Like, you can really hijack the woman and have all of the control and success that you want. Right? You guys who are invested in suppressing a woman's emotions, you're just invested in her not liking you. This is what makes you a placeholder. This is what makes the woman treat you in the ways that she treats you. Yeah? When you understand this is, I've coached incels into being able to have success with women, right? By literally teaching them about the suppressed emotions and unsuppressed emotions. It's really that simple, right? It's not about you, it's about the neurochemistry of the woman. You represent things to her. It's just that simple. If you have reward systems, then she will decide whether or not she wants to enroll onto your reward systems. If she decides that she wants to enroll onto her reward systems without any coercion, then your value drastically goes up in her eyes. Right? It's just that simple. You guys who bend, your standards and your boundaries, depending on the woman standing before you, you're going to see the game over screen very, very soon. And remember, with tension is everything. It's why the woman's hair. It's why the woman's standing before you, because of tension, right? And tension is mixed emotions. It's multiple different thoughts and conflicting beliefs and mixed emotions that create tension, right? You know, right? Like, think about the woman's conflicting beliefs. She's a paradox, right? So she wants a man who makes her feel insecure, because that's tension, that's romance, that's seduction, that's chemistry. But then at the same time, she wants the man that will make her feel secure. Also, see, more access to you, open up to me, be more consistent, be more reliable, be more predictable. She's all over the place, right? That's why you don't listen to what's coming out of her mouth. She wants a man who can lead, but she doesn't want to be led, right? There's so much things going on. You know, I remember I told you that, for a period of time, the vast majority of every woman I was sleeping with, it was my enemies. It was women that didn't like me, people who were like rude. You know, I mastered this ability to sleep with women who were rude to me, because I just alchemized that energy, that tension that they already had for some reason, whatever reason they didn't like me. I alchemized that energy and I made it a sexual tension, and I was able to smash these women in toilets, behind doors, in building, that same day, that same night. A rude woman is so easy for me to sleep with, because I would just always alchemize that energy into sexual tension. It's tension. All right, and when you're dealing with a woman and you're not giving her no tension, she's going to create tension. And when she's creating tension in the absence of the tension you should be providing, she's actually trying to fix the relationship so she likes you, right? But you don't know what you're doing. And then, as I said, when she does all the testing and stuff, and she realizes, wait, you won't leave her, you ain't got no boundaries, that's when it's revealed that you're a loser. That's basically what it is, right? Anyway, guys, I love you guys so much. You know I'm going through a heat wave. Fellas, I know I've not replied to some emails going like 2-3 months back yet. Please show me some patience. I'm nearly there. I've been having a lot going on right now. But I'm going to get back to everybody. Love you guys. And I'll see you in the next one. I'll reply to everyone very soon.